All right, Leos, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast for January 11th through the 17th. My name is Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to this type of astrology, be sure to check the description down below because the signs are different. All right, Leo, so very supportive week this week compared to last week, which is much more about flux and things going retrograde. Mercury, Jupiter, we had a lot of transformation with Pluto. But now, as you can see here in the transit graph, very supportive week. And a lot of it is probably as a result of these transformations, but it could be very much relating to the life path, which is shifting and changing for all of us. So for you specifically, it's involving your self-expression. You just had a new moon in that fifth house. Maybe there's some passions or some interests that are growing this week, or you're becoming more aware of. And it is good to be adaptive in the process with Mercury still retrograde in the fifth. So trying new things, new interests, new passions. I mean, it's your house, and it's all about the things that you naturally want to share and want to give. So a lot of support with that, and I think just being in flux and learning more about it is probably the best way to work with it this week. Now, it all starts here on Tuesday and Wednesday with Venus trining up to Uranus. So this is a Venus in your fourth house. So lately, maybe you have been enjoying more of the health or home or family aspects of things, although it's a very serious part of your life right now with Saturn here, where it's very important you stay balanced and grounded and committed to these areas. But especially this week now, Venus separates from Saturn, so you can see the lighter side of that. And I think it is going to continue to be an enjoyable week for those things. And if you did feel like the career stuff or the communications were quite heavy last week, that's also becoming easier since Venus rules both your 10th and your third. But involving those areas, career, self-expression, creativity, career and your communications could be quite liberating this week, could be quite exciting, in fact. And maybe things around the health or home or family could be, again, quite new or different with this trine up to Uranus. So this is a Uranus in your eighth, really freeing up the deeper aspects of life and helping you see what's really meaningful to you. Now, as we go into Wednesday and Thursday, the Sun then does trine up to that Jupiter North Node conjunction, which has been taking place. And it's all heralding this new beginning now with shifts towards your goals, your drives, your ambitions, which has been already expanding with Jupiter here for about the last 6 months. So now your North Node, your life path is really shifting for you guys to get your energy levels moving, to assert yourself, pursue those goals, maybe revamp your self-image, and these things that are either involving you, your outward self, or your inner goals and drives is really the theme for the next 2 years. So a lot of support with this, and I think you can really integrate this new interest or these new passions or whatever it is into that, and it can be very supportive involving these fire houses. Now, with that, we do have Venus squaring up to Chiron. So there is some healing taking place, maybe with the career stuff, maybe with communications, and I would say with the health or home and family. So be open to healing there. I think you naturally will be, but that's a great way of working with Chiron. Maybe even healing some relationship things or whatever with Chiron there. It can be all kinds of relationships, but being open to healing really helps that energy come through, and it can be quite rejuvenating. Then on Thursday, we have the Mercury retrograde going over the Sun in that fifth house. So there could be some insights with this. In fact, it's very much a week of new insights. And there could be a very strong sense of self-expression or passion here this week. So it's good to keep it grounded, of course, because Mercury is retrograde, and bring that extra attention to what we're expressing or conveying or communicating. But in either case, funneling that passion and interest into these new shifts involving wherever your goals are, leadership, assertiveness, whatever this first house stuff is very, very good. And I think you can learn quite a bit about how you express yourself and how to integrate that into your ambitions this middle part of the week. And so that's going to be that middle part. And then as we go into the weekend, we've got Mars trining up to Neptune, which is quite easy going, quite nice. Here there is this motivation and drive, I think, for you to cultivate your financial or material security over the past 2 years, maybe. Past 2 months. And so there is this, ambition here, I think, to pursue your values. And the key with this is with Neptune, it just comes easy, just comes nice and easy. I think there's this flow about it. I think things involving your home and family could be quite easy going over the weekend, and maybe even philosophy, spirituality, and opening your horizons could be quite heightened here. And one thing I want to say too, going into next week, Venus is going to be squaring up to Jupiter and the North Node. So integration, how you can integrate the career with these new shifts and changes, integrate the communication, right, that have been grounding this last week, and also how you can integrate the home and balance that with these new things also. So I think that's something that's going to be more so going into next week, but definitely on Sunday, seeing how you can bridge the gap between those areas and shifts with these new beginnings that are unfolding. All right, Leo, so have a great week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.